Good evening, everybody. My name is Jacqueline Sustaita. I'm the Weslaco ISD School Board President. This public hearing is being conducted in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Notice of this hearing has been posted online for at least 72 hours. A recording of this hearing is being made and will be available to the public at a later date, and it is live on YouTube right now. The time is now 5:43 p.m., and I'll call this hearing to order. I'll now begin the roll call. Trustee Rodriguez?
Present.
Trustee Cuellar?
Present.
Trustee Castillo? Trustee Treviño?
Present.
Trustee Nieto? Trustee De Los Santos?
Present.
And I am here. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is in attendance, even though one is not required for a public hearing. We'll move on to item number 3, public hearing on proposed 24-25 budget.
Good evening, all. And again, I see that my budget workshop is going to be well received by everybody here. Everyone's going to get a good crash course on how the district spends over $200 million. But it's always good to see what is happening around the valley. And so some of the recent news articles that has happened in the past week or so, La Jolla, again, just sharing some of the news that to balance their budget, they're having to review their personnel budget and see how to make cost cuts to make that budget fix. We see also that Brownsville did approve a budget. If they compared it to last year, they do see that their overall budget is shrinking. And so, again, this is normal, sad to say, after COVID, after all the ESSER funding has stopped. And so districts are all around Texas and the nation is having to make those hard decisions to make things work. When you look beyond Region 1 or the Rio Grande Valley, you start seeing what other districts are having to go through. And so we see, like, for instance, in El Paso ISD, freezing teacher pay. That is how they're handling this shortfall. Other districts in near San Antonio, they're going through that same hard decisions of freezing or doing just a little bit of the pay increases. Usually what we've been seeing is about a 2% increase, but for some, it is 0. So one of the biggest things that we do have to make sure that everyone is aware of is the property values within Weslaco ISD. And so right now we do have preliminary totals. In other words, it gives us a good snapshot as of June 10th of what those values are for all the homes, businesses that are within the boundaries of Weslaco ISD. And the big number that we look to is the very bottom number that's circled, $3.6 billion worth of property values that the district will be able to levy a tax on. The thing is, just like how I had said earlier, this is a preliminary number. By July 25th, it will be certified. And that's more of the concrete number that we will use for our tax rate. We are not approving a tax rate at this point. We will be having that whole fund process in the August 15th regular board meeting. So, but we do have an idea of what the tax rate will be based on the preliminary. So if you get the monitor, and if you looked on June 12th, you would notice there was a public notice about the school district in the newspaper. And so we always have to share what is the budget. We are also sharing what is the potential tax rates that we will be having for this upcoming school year. And as we have been sharing ever since the first talks of the bond that was approved back in last November, a 1-cent increase, that is the plan. If property values go even higher on our certified taxes, that rate may actually shrink down a little bit. But right now we're anticipating, worst case scenario, a 1-cent increase. Now, one question that I always get about the budget from everyone, what is the pay increases? So here we do break it apart into two groups, one being the teachers, but it's not just the teachers by themselves. It's also the librarians and the nurses. They all fall in the same pay group. So they, in a sense, get the same pay increase, $2,500 for next school year. If you're not one of those, teachers, librarians, or nurses, in a sense, it's all other professionals, our paraprofessionals, which is really our clerks, and our auxiliary staff. We are budgeting a 4% increase of midpoint. And so with those two, that is our pay increase, about a 4% for everybody. But in addition, we are continuing the locally funded stipend for being working with Weslaco ISD. So just like how we had the ESSER stipend, it's going to mirror that. So $1,000 in the spring or in the fall, and $1,000 in the spring. And so, so with that, we are seeing about a $9.6 million cost for this, but we have ways to fund that.
Mr. Obla, the quick question that I get asked a lot from staff, how do they find out what the midpoint is so that they know how much they're going to get?
No problem. So on our website, under the HR department resources, there's something called documents. So go to HR, click on documents, and the document that we want to pick on is the compensation plan. So sad to say, it's about 80 pages long. But somewhere in the middle, you will see all the different pay schedules. There's one for teachers, kind of. There's one for the professionals, for the education. There's one for my group. There's one for the paraprofessionals. There's one for auxiliary. There's one for bus drivers. So each one of those is listed. Whatever pay grade that you fall under, we have a minimum, a midpoint, and a max. So if I'm a pay grade, and I'm making up 305, I look under 305, there's those three numbers. I grab the middle number, what the midpoint is, and I would times that by 4%. So that's the easiest way to find it. If they need help, we could always pick on HR.
Okay, but that pretty much explains it because it's on the website.
It's
mid,
on our website.
Minimum, mid, and then max. So whatever you are, look for the mid times 4%.
Times 4%.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. But there's ways to pay for all these increases. And so part of it is we are anticipating maintaining our ADA, our average daily attendance. In other words, last year we had started the budget with 14,000 kids, ADA. We ended 14,500. This year, our budget's going to be based on that 14,500. We hope for more, because if we already hit it for this fiscal year, the hope is that we grow a little bit more. But we are maintaining and being just a little bit conservative on that scenario and saying, hey, we're going to have 500 new kids to the district. That would equate to about $4.2, $4.3 million. Now, we are seeing that our interest is still going to be maintaining at that high rate of about 5 to 5.5. So we normally only budget about $1 million. We're going to budget $4 million for this year. So in other words, a $3 million increase. Now, we do have revenues from prior year that should be coming in cash this fiscal year. So again, when we add up all those, it's right about the same amount of all those new expenses, the pay increases, the incentive, and we are also increasing our portion that we pay into the health insurance fund. And so, but if you were to add all three numbers and subtract the bottom three, we still have a little positive, but that money is also spent to the other different departments. But at the end of the day, we will see a net change of 0. So one of the things that we talked about last year that I'm kind of doing as a reminder is about ESSER. ESSER is some funds that we receive from the federal government to help districts with the whole issues of COVID. That money is now at the tail end, by this October, we plan to spend it all. And so for us and many other districts, we use some of that funding for new staff or to cover salaries of existing staff. For Weslaco ISD, all staff members that were covered through ESSER is now going to be covered either by local funds or other grants that the district was able to get. And so that whole ESSER deficit for the 23-24 school year has been knocked down to zero. And luckily for us, through planning, through squeezing the budget, through making those hard choices throughout the school year, in a sense, no one's losing their job. And so we found a place for them. And so just to kind of give you a high level of our budget, and the official budget in my head is 3 groups of funds: local funds, our food service fund, and our debt service fund. General fund is, in a sense, to pay all the bills that our local budget covers. Food service is only for the food service program. The breakfast and lunch and snacks and dinner that we serve to all the kids, they are, in a sense, a fund on their own. The debt service fund is to cover all the debt of the bonds. So the money that we charge on taxes is just going to be turned around to be paid our principal and interest payments. It's not for us to earn or make money, but in a sense, it's there to make sure we have enough funds to make those bond payments. And so if you see grand total, $201 million and change is going to be what the district plans to earn. We plan to expend 200. So we do see a small surplus. Again, it is in our debt service fund, but those funds will only be used for our debt. We can't use it for anything else. And so, again, every month we do review the budget. If you remember seeing an agenda item on our agenda that says budget amendments, those are our chances to make those little tweaks throughout the year to ensure that we have enough money for everything. And so the hope is to start with a good budget and, in a sense, spend the money where it's needed the most. So some of the things that is really going to be talked about next year, the 25-26 budget. Right now, we do look at all of our academic and athletic, fine arts stipends. We do go through a TASB review just to see how do we kind of compare to other school districts. And so for this particular school year, we are very healthy, I guess you could say. We could always review that, and that's the goal for next fiscal year. Again, some of the things that we always look out for is student transfers and rezoning. Again, if we do see a major growth in this district, then it's a good problem to have. And so that's one thing we would look into. And again, as we have different needs of our buildings, whether it's repairs or just new construction, that's when we start in that strategic planning for our buildings. And next year pay raises, it is going to rely a lot on what happens at the state level. This year, if you remember, it was kind of tied to vouchers. The people in the state legislature didn't agree with the governor. So what happens? Nothing happened. There was no new laws for the benefit of school budgets. So we'll see how this November goes, which will take an effect in January. And we could hope for some positive movements for additional funding. If not, then we wait till the summer of 25 to see what happens.
Mr. Arroyo, a quick question also now that I see rezoning. Where are we in the progress with the whole rezoning map that we were working on?
So we would always rely back to the demographic study. That's kind of like our foundation. Once we see where the growth or where the movement of the children are, we will then work with CNI and our school leadership team to see what changes may happen.
So no changes yet right now?
Right now, this is nothing. we're talking about next budget year. So
Okay.
for the 25-26, there could be something happening there. But again, once we have the new kids in place, I would assume probably about January, we should see if there is a need for that. And that's when all those fun discussions happen with our principals and our leadership team. So,
Sounds good.
and so later on today, you'll see as part of your consent agenda that there is a budget to approve. Hopefully, the questions have been answered throughout the 4 budget workshops and today with our public hearing. But the tax rate is not for today. It's going to be on August 15, once we get more concrete numbers from the county.
All right.
There we go.
Thank you, Mr. Robledo. Do any board members have any questions? No, nobody? All right. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That brings us to item number 4, public comments on proposed 24-25 budget. Mr. Martinez, we don't have any public comments? Has anybody signed up for public comments? Does
Yeah,
anybody?
at this point, any of the public can have public comments against.
No, nobody signed up, right?
Nobody signed up, so.
Well, I need to make a public comment.
Is it based on the presentation?
I don't know, it's in general regarding the school.
Okay, that's,
For the public hearing, it has to be based on the topic here. So if it's if in the regular board meeting, you can sign up, which is coming up. It has to be a couple of minutes before the board meeting.
you have to.
So I don't know if she signed up or not. All right, so there, no public comments
That's it.
for the board, for the public hearing? Anybody else? No? Okay, so we're good with that. Takes us to number 5, adjournment. All right, it is 6 PM and we are adjourned for the public hearing. And now we'll move over to the regular board meetings. Anybody need a break? Can go back in? All right. Okay, so we'll begin our regular meeting of the Board of Trustees. Good evening, once again. I'm Jacqueline Sustaita, President of the Weslaco ISD Board of Trustees. This regular board meeting is being conducted in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. A recording of this meeting is being made and will be available to the public at a later date and is also live on YouTube. The time is now 6 PM and I'll call this meeting to order. I'll now begin the roll call. Trustee Rodriguez?
Present.
Trustee Cuellar?
Present.
Trustee Castillo? Trustee Trevino?
Present.
Trustee Nieto? Trustee De Los Santos?
Present.
Let the record show that a quorum of board members is in attendance. We'll move on to item number 3, the invocation. Mr. Elias Trevino, Director of Assessment and Accountability.
Thank you so much. Would you be so kind to bow your heads? And gentlemen, if you're wearing a hat, if you would just be so kind to remove it in reverence to the Lord. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, our Lord Jesus Christ, we come before your throne of glory to honor, praise, and glorify you. Who is like unto you? You are awesome in all of your ways. Thank you for the gift of life, health, family, friends, strength, peace, and physical ability to work to provide for our families. Thank you for your faithfulness and protection over the lives of our students, staff, and families. Thank you also for the recent rains that have blessed the Rio Grande Valley. We thank you for the blessing of gathering once again as a corporate body and the privilege to serve this most beautiful community of Weslaco. We ask you to continue to bless and grant greater wisdom to our superintendent, Dr. Richard Rivera, and our board. You have called us to serve others through the gifts we have received from you. Lord, may your will be done in our board meetings. Help us to maintain integrity in what you have left in our care. Our decisions have lasting impact in our boys and girls. As the 23-24 school year has come to a close, grant us greater wisdom to make 24-25 Weslaco ISD's greatest year. We pray your hand of blessing and protection be upon all our students and staff during the summer so that all may return safely in August. We ask you all this in your precious, glorious, and mighty name of Jesus. And everyone says, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Item number 4, the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge with Mr. Daniel Buttimer.
At this time, we'd ask everyone to please stand, place their right hand over their heart, and face the United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'd ask everyone to remain standing, right hand over their heart, and turn towards the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Buttimer. Item 5, awards and recognitions. Mr. Carlos Robledo.
Madam President, Dr. De Vera, members of the board, we have lots of success we want to celebrate and recognize, so let's get started. How about a big hand for the kids as they enter the room? Tonight, we want to congratulate our high school students who competed in the District 32-5A and 32-6A UIL academic meets. These students devote their free time to prepare and face off against schools like Beta Science Academy, MedTech, South Texas High School for Medical Professionals, Harlingen, Harlingen South, San Benito, Los Fresnos, Brownsville Hanna, and Brownsville Rivera. From Weslaco East High School and District 32-5A, the UIL journalism team won the district championship for the 9th consecutive year. How about a round of applause? We also want to congratulate the 32-5A District UIL computer science champions. How about we give them a round of applause? We'd also like to recognize the UIL coordinator, Mr. Joe Ramos. And if their parents are here, can you please stand and be recognized? Parents? All right, how about we give these kids, these students, a round of applause one more time? And now we're going to take a photo, so we just sit up. Oh, Weslaco is also here? Okay, I'm sorry. We have two schools here. Excuse me. We also want to recognize our Weslaco High School students. From Weslaco High School and District 32-6A, the UIL 9th grade mathematics team won first place at district, advancing to regionals. How about we give them a round of applause? We also have the UIL accounting team. They won first place at district and advanced to regionals. We have the UIL journalism team. They won first place at district and advanced to regionals. And two students qualified for state competition in Ready Writing, and one student won a regional championship in Ready Writing. The UL coordinator is Monica Walker at Weslaco High School. Congratulations. All right, now we're going to take the photo. By the way, I'm the Weslaco High School that a state finalist in Ready Writing, which is a very big deal. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, students. You may exit this way. Amazing.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, how about a round of applause for our next students who entered the room? What do we got? What's that? Just the softball. All right, tonight we want to congratulate several high school athletes who were recently named on the academic all-state team. This all-state team list compiled by the Texas High School Coaches Association to recognize high school athletes for their academic excellence in GPA, class rank, ACT, and SAT scores. We honor these students who perform at the highest academic excellence on and off the field. So these are members of the state champion softball team, Lady Panthers, but they're also here for their academic success. So congratulations, ladies. If their parents are here, can they please stand and be recognized, parents? We also want to recognize their head coach, Mario Rodriguez, if he's here. Coach Rodriguez. I see first assistant coach, Mr. Hinojosa is here. Coach Hinojosa. All right, once again, congratulations. You can shake a school board member's hand as you leave. Oh, photo first, I'm sorry. Once again, congratulations. All right, congratulations. You may exit this way. And how about a big hand for our next group of students who enter the room? All right, so we want to congratulate members of our track team who also received all-state academic honors. We have students here who are from Weslaco East High School. How about we give them a round of applause? We have members of the boys team, and we also have members of the girls team. Parents, if you're here, can you please stand and be recognized, parents? And we also want to recognize the coach from Weslaco East High School, Mr. Josh Davis. Coach Davis. All right, and we also have the boys track team from Weslaco East. We'd like to recognize Coach Tom Owens. Weslaco High School, no Weslaco? Weslaco High is also here. And we also have a member of the Weslaco High School track team. Can you, a round of applause for her? And we also like to recognize the head coach, Gus Cabrera. All right, so parents, if you're here, can you please stand and be recognized? Parents? Parents? All right. All right, we can take a photo now. I think we recognized everybody. Once again, congratulations. All right. Bring in the next group. All right, how about a big hand for our next group of students as they enter the room? So tonight we have several members from the Weslaco East Wildcat Regiment. Just when you think that they're done, they're still performing. So congratulations. These students advanced to the UIL Solo and Ensemble State Competition, and several of these students were state qualifiers who won silver and gold medals. Let's give them a round of applause. We want to recognize the band director from Weslaco ISD, Armando Cuellar. And we also want to recognize their parents. Parents, if you're here, can you please stand and be recognized? Parents. All right, students, we'll take a quick photo. Congratulations. We continue on with our recognitions. Up next, we have our Weslaco High School Panther Corps. How about a round of applause as they enter? All right, so tonight we want to congratulate several members of the Weslaco Panther Corps. These students advanced to UIL Solo and Ensemble State Competition, and several of these state qualifiers also won silver and gold medalists. Some of them won both silver and gold. How about a round of applause for our students? We'd also like to recognize the band director, Mr. Rodrigo Leal from Weslaco High School. And let's recognize our parents. Parents, if you're here, can you please stand and be recognized, parents? All right, we're ready for a photo. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Amazing. How about a round of applause for our next group of students? Tonight we want to congratulate some students from the Weslaco High School Choir, Weslaco High School Choir and orchestra members. These choir students advanced. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. Breaking news. Orchestra is on their way. Are they here or are they? Okay. Let's go ahead and bring them on in. Come on in. All right. How about a round of applause? Orchestra students. All right, ready? Okay. So the choir students advanced and competed at the UIL State Solo and Ensemble Contest, which is the highest level of music competition. How about we give them a round of applause? Choir director is Denise Martinez. A round of applause for Ms. Martinez. And we also have members of the Weslaco High School Orchestra who qualified and competed at state competition. How about a round of applause? Orchestra director is Dr. Young Sin Choi. All right. We'd also like to recognize their parents. Parents, if you're here, can you please stand and be recognized? All right, we take a group photo real quick. Congratulations. All right. Got a few more group of students before we move on. All right. Got some young ones right here. Come on in. How about a big round of applause for our students here? Okay. They're art students, right? Okay. All right, y'all. We're good? We're good? So tonight we want to congratulate our talented elementary school artists who recently competed in the Texas Education Art Meet, or TEAM, hosted by the Texas Art Education Association. These students won exemplary ratings for their original artwork. Students used all mediums for their creations and also analyzed their entries. How about a round of applause for our students from Raul Gonzalez Elementary? Raul Gonzalez Elementary art teacher Demi Pedraza. Round of applause for Ms. Pedraza. A round of applause for students from Rudy Silva Elementary. And teacher Cynthia White. And a round of applause for students from Mario Ibarra Elementary and art teacher Cynthia Duran. Natalie White, okay. Natalie White, I apologize for that. Sorry about that, Natalie. All right, so parents, if you're here, can you please stand and be recognized? All right, ready for a photo? You can. Congratulations. More students. How about we give them a round of applause? Two more groups. Perfect. Okay, we'll move them over here a little bit. All right, so we have the flowers. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so tonight we want to congratulate our district's top elementary readers. Representing different grade levels and campuses, these students read over 9.5 million words independently throughout the school year. How about we give them a round of applause? We also want to let you know that representing Northbridge Elementary, this individual read the most words in the school district, Dakota Cáceres. Congratulations to their teachers, to the principals, and also congratulations to the parents. Can they please stand and be recognized? Parents. All right, ready for a quick photo? Okay.
Good job. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay, one more. All right. How about a round of applause? Tonight, we want to congratulate a Weslaco High School senior who recently selected as the recipient of the Mexican American School Boards Association, or MASBA, scholarship. Every year, MASBA reviews over 600 applicants, and this individual is one of 6 students selected for this award. The scholarship committee was highly impressed by her writing, ambitions, and commitment to the Latino community. How about a big hand for Maya Flores? If her parents are here, can they please stand and be recognized, parents? You here? All right. Congratulations. And that concludes our awards and recognitions. Thank you.
It's amazing. All right. We'll move on to item 7, Superintendent's Report. Oh, I'm sorry. I looked over 6. Public comments. And we have...
There's one.
What? Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. Okay, the speaker, they can come over to the podium. Crystal Rodriguez. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. It's gone. Okay, ma'am. Before we begin, if you can state your name again.
My name's Crystal Rodriguez.
Okay, and your address.
6108, mile 6.5, Weslaco, Texas.
Okay, thank you. Before you begin, I'm going to just read a quick little paragraph that we have to read to you.
Okay.
After I finish reading it, you have 3 minutes, and Dr. Rodriguez over here will let you know when you have 1 minute left. But I'll go ahead and read the paragraph first, and then you can begin.
Okay.
So here it goes. Pursuant to the Texas Open Meeting Act, the Board of Trustees may not deliberate on any comment made by a member of the public on a subject that is not included on the agenda posted with notice of this meeting. As per the Texas Attorney General, the scope of board discussion for a subject not part of the meeting agenda is limited to only a proposal by a board member to place the subject on a future board agenda. Specific factual information or recitation of existing policy may be furnished in response to inquiries, but the board shall not deliberate or decide regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. Audience participation at a board meeting is limited to the portion of the meeting designated for that purpose. At all other times during a board meeting, the audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on matters being considered by the board, unless recognized by the presiding officer. No public comment presentation shall exceed 3 minutes. Any disruptive behavior by any speaker may result in the speaker's removal from participation in the meeting. Please be mindful of using names or personally identifiable information, as there is no immunity from defamatory comments while participating in public comments. Okay, you have 3 minutes. You can go ahead and begin.
Okay, this is due to my daughter's accident in Rudy Silva. It's been 53 days. They just provided the incident report. Here's the pictures. If I don't. Oh, okay. To me, regarding the school itself, there's no accountability, no professionalism. They are still giving me the runaround, and I'm jumping back and forth trying to obtain information regarding the incident. They claim that there's no videos, there's no photo, there's no investigation report. My daughter had her head cut 1/2 inch deep from one side to the other side. They did not do the proper paperwork. So I don't know who needs to be included, but if this is not being addressed, I am very upset. And it should be something that matters. I'm paying taxes. How is it that my taxes are going towards a school that did not take care of my daughter? The same way my daughter went to school should come back home. And the lack of professionalism, of taking the accountability to provide me the documentation, the incident report, what happened 53 days later, it's not acceptable. And who's gonna take my daughter? She has a scar for the rest of her life. We're going to therapy and counseling. She doesn't want to be in the surrounding area. She's asking me what's going to happen next year. How is she going to be around other students and people doing this and people doing that? Hey, Mom, if I go, am I able to stay in school because I don't want to be around the playground? Where is that information? Who's taking accountability for my daughter? No one cared about her. Is it because she's not a student to a WISD employee? Is it because we're low-grade family? What is the reason that my daughter does not matter? Oh, and on top of that, she's special ed. So I am going to contact TEA. I am going to contact the special education. They did not.
1 minute.
They did not do anything. Telling me, oh, we miss your daughter. That is not enough. Not giving me. I requested the information from the day of the accident. They told me I could not obtain anything, so I did involve Weslaco PD. And due to the fact that apparently I'm sure none of you know what's going on, that even bothers me more. So that's how am I as a parent allowing my daughter? I don't trust WIC. I don't trust Rudy Silva in general. But WIC, how am I supposed to feel safe that my daughter will come home? What if she would have died? That's half-inch deep. There was blood everywhere. Where are the photos? Where's the investigation? Who authorized the cleanup? Who? I would like some answers. I've never been to one of these meetings, so I don't know.
Thank you.
I can follow up.
Yeah, we'll follow up with that.
Can we get the information? Can we get the information from the parent? Mr. Butterman?
You can talk to Mr. Buttermer outside. We're going to follow up with your information.
An open forum, just so she knows, since she hasn't been here before, we usually don't respond directly. But in this situation, of course,
Yeah.
Dr. Rivera stated he's going to do a full report for the board.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, but you can speak with Mr.
Mr.
Butterman.
Buttermer right there, you can follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Item 7, and we'll definitely look into that.
Yes.
Everybody at Weslaco ISD should feel safe, so we'll definitely look into that. Item number 7, Superintendent's report.
Yes, you have 11 slides. Let me start with page number 1. This is the enrollment, and from September 23 to the end of the year, and then projected for next year. You can see that in September, we had 16,308 students, and in May 1st, 16,339. So the projected for 25 is 16,476. So the important thing here is that even though there's a little growth, we're not losing students. And I just want to say here that I care about all our students, and everyone is important. All 16,400 important to me, and I will follow up with any concern and that's here is brought up to me, and I will provide answers. But again, I care for all the students in our school district.
Right, Doc, I guess I'll use this slide too. Talking about our enrollment and our consistent increases, it's also because of the processes that we have, not only in academics and also in athletics, but also just the structure that we have as far as for accountability and making sure that every child is safe. I know that your administration is really strong on addressing bullying, documentation, we have cameras, et cetera. We have a lot of safety features in our schools, and that's why a lot of people in our community are noticing that and bringing in their kids. And we also have a really distinct process that everyone worked on, administration and the board, to document incidences and to have these things on reports. So I know that you're going to follow up,
Yes.
especially with what you just heard.
Yes, I will follow up.
And there's always room for improvement, so, there's always something better that we can do. And as a board, I would like to know if something like this, if it happens, but I appreciate you looking into it,
Yes.
Doctor.
We'll follow up. On page 2, I'm happy to report that the budget, we based the budget for this school year at 14,000 students. The actual ADA final was 13,766. But we have a SASE program, and this is for the ones that have excessive absences. So we've got programs after school and on Saturdays. So the ones that are absent quite a bit have a chance to make up the absences. So on the SASE, we had 721 ADA. So total that we find came out to 14,501. So we set the budget again at 14,000. So we met that by 501 students. So because of this, the hard work of all the principals and staff and teachers, everyone, the surplus for the end of the year is almost 4.3 million. Had we not reached the 14,000, we would have to return money to TA. So again, for this year, almost a plus 4.3 million. And as Mr. Robledo mentioned, for next year, we're going to set the budget, the 25 budget at 14,500. So if we attain this, it'll be an additional 4.3 million into our school district. So again, we worked very hard this year, and the plan for next year is to continue with the enrollment and continue with having a high ADA. And again, I just want to say again that all our kids are important to me, to our principals, and we will follow up. Anytime there's an issue with bullying or issue with someone getting hurt, I want to make sure that we follow up. As the board knows, I've got an open door policy, and every single parent that wants to see me, I see. I return every single phone call, so I'm available. And again, we want our kids safe in school, and we are responsible for their safety when they come to school and when they leave our school. But again, back on this slide, happy to report that it's a plus almost $4.3 million. For next year, on page 3, we actually reduced the budget, the 24 budget to 25. There were some program expenses that we feel were not needed. We can reduce. Also savings through attrition. We were overstaffed in some of our schools, and we also consolidated positions. So that was a savings of $3 million less for the 25 budget that we had in 24. So 3.5 will be added again to the 25 budget. On page 4, the items that are here were mentioned earlier, so I'll go over these kind of briefly. Again, the 25 budget is based on 14,500 compared to this past year at 14,000. The attendance percentage is based on 94%. We want to go ahead and be higher than this for the following year. So I'm going to challenge all the principals to go ahead and meet the standard and go above the standard. The tax rate is less, as Mr. Robledo mentioned. Right now it's a penny increase for the $160 million bond election. But as the values go up, and we'll know in August, it could be lower. It could be less than 1 penny, maybe half a penny. So half a penny for a $160 million bond election was something that was worthwhile to our school district. The pay raises, the same thing that he mentioned, the 2,500, the 4% from the midpoint, and then the stipends. There's no other district in Region 1 that I've heard is coming up with these kind of pay raises. So again, with the board support and being able to have the monies available, we're going to reward our staff with a good pay raise, and we want them coming to work in August, feeling good, but we expect a good, productive school year from everyone, including me. The beginning salary, $57,000, one of the highest in Region 1. As mentioned earlier, the ESSER deficit was $17 million. Together as a team effort, it was reduced to 0. No one lost their jobs. It's a balanced budget without any state assistance. As you know, the state balked, and this is what's hurting other districts right now, because there's no new state monies. We were able to do our budget in spite of this. So we're hoping that for next year, we'll have the additional monies to maintain what we need. Also in this budget, we were able to go ahead and have a safe campus with our SROs, security guards. We met the mandates, an armed guard at every campus, and tonight is on the agenda under consent. The last one, the budget, we had several workshops, and under consent, the budget is there, but again, it's a balanced budget. All the items that are mentioned are in there, and it's under consent. But again, very good work to all our staff, the business department, the principals, everyone. It's a team effort, including support from the board.
Dr. Dave, I had a quick question. For the beginning teacher salary, is it 57 and then they get 2,000 more in December and May, so they get 59?
Yes, exactly.
So actually, they're going to get 59 as a beginning
59.
teacher.
59,500.
59, yes.
That's awesome. I think
Yes.
that's the highest
Yes.
that I've
It
seen
should- it should
around
be-
the
It should be
valley.
the highest with a 2,000 increase.
Thank you so much for taking care of our staff.
Thank you. Again, a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
On page 4, this is, I'm sorry, on page 5, the fund balance. As I mentioned last month, the annual audit showed that we have a fund balance of $62 million. And from this fund balance, it's earning interest. So we get good money from the 62 million. From this amount, though, we have to have a reserve for 3 months, which is $42 million. So this $42 million is, again, the three months that we have in reserve should something happen for emergency. So now you subtract the amount, what we have left is $20 million available in our fund balance for one-time expenses. And many districts are using the fund balance to balance their budget. We're using 20 million to go ahead and increase our capital improvement items in our budget, such as the ones that are listed. We're doing the stadium LED lighting upgrades, and we're doing the sensory rooms in the elementary. We ordered 3 new school buses. Number 4, maintenance vehicles. Number 5, the portable AC units, because the AC units that we have right now in the older schools that we're later on the agenda and for next month, some of them will wait until a year before they're working. So with these portable units in the 3 schools that we have, they'll be helpful in the hot summer months, such as August, September, and October. We also have bleachers for Central Middle School. On number 7, we're doing the baseball, softball turfs at both high schools. We're looking for safety, electric gates in the entrances. For the hot weather, for the athletes and the band, we're looking to get these portable hydration systems and getting tents there in the month of August when it gets very, very hot. Additional trucks and vans. In the last one, we're going to beautify our fields. Our softball girls were the state champions. So in addition to the turf, we're looking at to beautify the actual field. And so we're spending on the fund balance about $7.3 million. But on D, there's new monies going to the fund balance, approximately $7 million. And where are we going to get this? Number 1, the reduction of payroll cost. When you hire new staff, younger staff, to replace the retiring staff, there's a savings in what we pay them. And also, number 2, anticipating monies remaining. Because the 24 budget, we didn't spend everything. There's money left over. And this also includes the interest. And even though we have $4 million, and I'll inform the board later, we expect to have a balance here of $6 million. So again, as you see, we're spending $7.3 million, but we're bringing about the same amount back to keep the fund balance at around the $20 million. And again, other districts use the fund balance to balance their budget, and we used it to fund these projects. So again, I commend the board, our principals, our staff, everyone, because we're getting better. We're good, and we're getting better in our school district. Go, sir.
I'm sorry, I know it says pending on number 11, the athletic field additions and enhancements, but just because I got the feedback and I want to make sure, I know you guys are working on it, the enclosed batting tunnel with a bullpen. Let's
Yes.
just make sure that that's on there for
That's
the
on.
girls.
Yes,
Okay.
that's on.
Awesome.
In fact, for all 4.
Okay, good.
The East, Weslaco East, and Weslaco High, softball and baseball.
Okay,
Both schools.
Yes, both schools.
awesome. Thank you.
Yes, or both programs.
Okay.
Softball and baseball.
On baseball.
On page 6, I'm not going to go over this because Mr. Robledo mentioned this on the stipends for next year, the transfers. And then, again, number 4, this is going to happen. The state, they just can't go another year without giving the school districts additional money, so it's going to happen. So in the summer of '25, we should get, as well as all the other districts, a big chunk of money to help with our budgets. And then Horton, the plans to demolish it, and then we'll look at what might be plans in the future for Horton.
I really like that pre-K center that you brought up as an idea. I've gotten really positive feedback about that.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that'd be awesome.
On page 7, these are projects, construction projects that are completed. And then you can see the playground equipment, elementary completed, the marquee signs completed, the automotive welding equipment completed, the controls in the middle schools completed, fire alarm completed, the drainage completed, and on the last one, I know it's been an issue, very important to me. When the facility was built in Weslaco East, it always leaked. But now after the last rains, it's not leaking. So we're taking a look at this to make sure that it is fixed, that that building is where it's supposed to be, and then we'll look at all the insides, the repairs that need to be done with the leaks that occurred. We don't want any mold or anything, but from the last rains, I'm told that, in fact, I've got to go there myself to make sure, I want to see it myself, that there are no leaks at this facility. On page 8, these are non-bond projects that, and then we have the completion date, the Aquatic Center, and you can see the date, July, the Weslaco East scoreboard in August of this year, the chairlift also in August at our football stadium, LED lighting in August, the basketball goals in both schools in the fall, the fencing safe grant, 2.1 million, also in the fall, playground equipment and canopy in February, should be complete. To the right, you see the district fuel tanks in March of '25, the exterior door replacements in March, the vestibules and the COPS grant for three schools, Memorial, Silva, and Gonzalez, should be ready in March. And again, these are the non-bond. And then the upgrades, that's the one that I'm very concerned with, and it'll be on the agenda for August to do the upgrades in Memorial, North Bridge, and Airport. But for now, we're going to have to wait about a year. But here's where the portable units will help us in August. The billboard digital conversion, hopefully by October, we'll have the new digital scoreboard. One of the few in the valley. We'll have the electric gates, and also as the board was very instrumental in telling me we want activity buses. So we've got 4 coming in August and October. And these are the state of luxury, and these are for both schools. They're not going to have Weslaco High or Weslaco East. It'll be for both schools. So again, August and October. The next slide shows the bond election projects. That's the one for 160 million, proposition A, B, and C. Again, the softball fields, the turf, scoreboards, hopefully by January, that's the goal. The roofing collector held, it's gonna take a year, July 25. The building envelopes in B. Garza Sepulveda in September 25. The HVAC at KWES in April of 26. HVAC at B. Garza and Weslaco High in March 26. Western improvements at Margo and Garza, December 26. Vestibules, the new ones at B. Garza and at Weslaco East. And then the running tracks for all middle schools. Again, these are part of the bond elections, A, B, and C in August. So the goal is to have these ready by August of 25. To the right, you see the turf at East. The board approved it at the last meeting. Should be in August. The band towers by October. The tennis courts by January 25. Fire alarm upgrades, August. The light upgrades for the Performing Arts Center, March. The new Pete Abrigo Ag building by March of 26 at Rudy Silva. It's going to be in the new site. And the demolition of the Central Gym by March. And again, this is phase 1. As we hire the watchdog, as we hire the someone to assist us. Phase 2 will occur soon, and again, we'll have the individual at the next board meeting who we recommend to assist us with these projects on phase 2 and 3. On page 9 is the self-funded health insurance. Again, we are self-funded. You can see compared to last year, the claims in 23 was 16 million, in 24, 15 million. And the difference here on A, the current stop loss of May would have been higher had it not been for the stop loss. The rebates, if you see the fixed cost at 20,000, the reason for that are the rebates applied to the fixed cost as part of the package with Blue Cross and the Blue Cross company. So again, this plan starts in August. I'm sorry, the old one ends in August, the new one starts also in August. We have 20 million budgeted. We spent 15 million through May. We have $5 million left to do for 3 months. I will keep the board posted on this one, as hopefully we won't go into the red, but we'll see the last figures in August at the August board meeting. And the last slide that I have is the self-funded workers' comp. Again, we're self-funded. If we were to go fully funded, the amount would be from 700,000 to about 1.8 million. So right now, I'm comfortable staying with the self-funded. You can see the number of claims in 23, in 24, and this plan ends in June 30th. So in July, we start the new number of claims again. So you can see the funding was for this year, this past year, was 460,000. We spent right now through May, 418. So we have 41,000 left over for the few days that remain. Of course, we're going to get some more claims coming in. We have claims from past years, since we're self-funded, claims still from 2012, 2013 that we're still paying. So we do have a fund balance. So again, this plan ends in June, and we start the new one in July. This is my report. A lot of information here, and if the board has any questions, staff and I can help. We'll answer these for you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. Dr. Rodriguez, any questions or comments?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Dr. Rivera.
Thank you.
Quick,
Great report, Doc.
Thank you.
all right, Mr. Trevino?
No, just what a difference one individual makes. And Dr. Rivera, great job bringing the district back.
A+.
Thank you.
Mr. De Los Santos?
No, I think everybody's already said what I wanted to say. Great job,
Thank you.
administration, Dr. Rivera.
Thank you.
All the administration at the campuses as well for, taking on additional weight and working with less, but yet still being effective, highly effective. So great job to everyone, departments as well.
Thank you.
Outstanding job.
It's a team effort,
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
including the board, team of 8.
I have one little, just an idea. The board-approved construction projects, the bond, what stuck out to me right now is the Abrigo Ag facility. It's still 2 years away. And I know we still have a lot of time to think about it. But just to honor Mr. Cadena, who was an integral and important part of the whole ag curriculum for the kids, I would like to see if we can do something special, like maybe, name a part of the building, Cadena, something, because of course we're going to keep Pete Abrigo facility, right? But you can always name it, I don't know, the kids know him the best, so maybe get feedback from the kids if whatever he liked or something that reminds them of him, and name a certain part of the building after him, I think would be so nice, because he was there for so many years, and it would be nice to have that in his honor.
We'll take a look at it.
So just an idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If there are no further questions, comments, we will move on to item 8, the consent items. We've all had some time to look over this. And as we've mentioned before, for Lone Star governance, we usually talk about what we have to. And if we want to pull anything out, of course we can. But you should have already looked through this to see. And if the community has any questions about these consent items, they are online on it's on our website, on Weslaco ISD website. You can look through these items yourself and read them to know exactly what they're about. So I'll go one by one to see if we're going to pull any items out. Dr. Rodriguez, any items?
I have none.
Okay, Coach Cuellar?
None.
Mr. Trevino?
None.
Mr. De Los Santos?
None.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take it to a vote. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos?
Aye.
Okay, the consent item agenda is approved as written on the agenda. We'll move on to item number 9, discussion items. 9A, update on trainings, conferences, events, and consider future agenda item requests by the Board of Trustees. Any updates, Doctor?
Yes, on 9A1A, we have 3 grievances coming up in August, and you have the dates. Ms. Yvette will poll you later on. The dates are August 2021 or August 27th, 28th. Again, there's 3 grievances. We'll send you the information, and then you all tell us when it is that you can go ahead and meet and hear the grievances.
Will they be all on the same day or different days?
Same day,
Same day.
3 at one time.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll move on to item 10, discussion and possible action. 10A, School Leadership and Instruction Department. 10A1, discussion and possible action for the board to approve the optional flexible school day program for the 24-25 school year.
I'm sorry, we missed the 9A1B.
Oh, I didn't see that one. 9A1B, discussion for the Board of Trustees to schedule a special board meeting on August the 1st.
August the 1st. That's the day that Chip Vasquez, name of the facility. And also we'll have a special meeting at the field house to do anything that we need, any work that needs to be done at that time. So there will be a special board meeting on August the 1st. Again, for Chip Vasquez and any items that we need to go ahead and be approved by the board at that time.
Okay. Are we all good with the first, or Yvette can poll us?
Yes.
To see? Okay. All right.
Well, it's kind of set because I think they already,
Okay.
Chip Vasquez family already
August 1st,
agreed on
that's
the
fine.
August the
Yeah, we
1st.
discussed
That's
it
fine.
already.
Yes.
That's fine. All right, now we can do 10A1, discussion and possible action for the board to approve the optional flexible school day program for the 24-25 school year.
Mr. Butterman, you want to present this one?
So just very quickly, since 2010, 2011, WISD has participated in the optional flexible. And it's something we do want to continue. It gives us the option for students to earn some credit through minutes earned. We would like to make the recommendation, again, if we could follow through and bring it forward. It would also be very helpful as we move in with our ages 18 to 26 dropout recovery program.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We'll give it to Coach Cuellar. Motion by Mr. Dos Santos, second by Cuellar. Any questions, comments? Go ahead and take it to a vote. Trustee Rodriguez.
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar.
Aye.
Trustee Trevino.
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos.
Aye.
Motion passes. 10B, Business and Finance Department. 10B1, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of the annual review of the district's investment policy.
Mr. David? Good news here, you see the backup?
Yeah.
Where the interest went up higher?
Right.
That's good news for us.
I think you answered all this in the budget workshop that we had, so if anybody
Move
has...
to approve.
Okay,
Second.
go ahead and take it to a vote then. Trustee Rodriguez.
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar.
Aye.
Trustee Trevino.
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos.
Aye.
Motion passes. And 10B2, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of the final amended budgets for the general fund and the debt service fund for the fiscal year 23-24. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we'll give it to Mr. Dr. Rodriguez this time. We'll go ahead and take it to a vote. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to item 11, Lone Star Governance presentations. We'll start with the monitoring calendar with Mrs. Beatriz Solano, 11A1. We're going over the June 2024 student outcome goals, GPMs, and the constraint CPMs.
Yes, hi, good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Rivera, and community. So this month, for the month of June, we will be covering the end of the year results for kinder through second grade reading and math for the math assessment. And also, under the CPMs, the budget that would take place, the public hearing would cover that, the CPMs. So in GPM 1.1 to 1.3, we first look at K through second reading language arts, which is tied to goal 1 of our HB3 board adopted goals that we adopted back in November. So again, kinder through second grade for GPMs 1.1 to 1.3 support our third grade reading goal at that meets performance level. So On this next slide, that is the HB3 board goal that supports, right, the GPNs that we will cover. So on the next slide, you will see the actual end of the year map results for kinder through second grade. Even though as the presentation that you've reviewed, right, last week that you received shows that we did not meet the end of the year target, one of the things that we discussed in our leadership week with the elementary principals and campus administrators, to include some of the APs and instructional coaches that were there, is the instrument was changed mid-year. The board goals were not adopted until November, so the communication did not go out to the teachers until December. So one of the things that we will come back and recommend is hopefully in August to keep the same target goal for next school year. I do want to share that as you look at the targets that we set on that bottom table of 55, 38, and 40 for kinder through second grade, we either met or surpassed last year's number, with the exception of kinder. But I will let you know, one of the things that we discussed in kinder is that administration procedures, they were testing in small group to whole group, that was going to change. So we did change that for the end of the year target or assessment. So that is why you see probably a dip in our end of the year target from last year to this year. However, first and second grade either surpassed last year's goal, however, did not meet this year's goal, right? So, you know, with administration's recommendations, we would like to extend this year's target to next year to have a full year to capture data.
I'm a little confused when you said we're using the wrong, or there's something about the tool, because when I looked over at March, at the March goals,
Yes.
and it said on track, on track, on
Yes.
track, right? And then before that, it said on track, on track. So like the way we explained in Lone Star Governance, we're playing the basketball game, first quarter,
Correct.
second quarter, you're telling me we're winning, and then at the end, oh man, which is okay, because I've been in the classroom, I know exactly, numbers are totally different from what happened in the classroom. But I'm confused though, what do you mean by the tools that we used are not, what does that mean?
So last year, our HB3 goals, before we adopted or came into LSG, the tool that was used could have been Texas Kia, iStation, any other assessment, but was not MAP. This year, when we adopted the board goals for HB3, we said we were going to use MAP as a case second instrument versus the ones in place previous to LSG
But we've been
goals.
using MAP all the other months for the
They
data.
have been using MAP,
So
right?
does it
And
matter?
that is why we felt confident that to go ahead and use MAP for our new LSG goals for the 24 to 28 school year. Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm just a little confused because we have been using MAP this year.
Right, right. So for this year, yes,
Well, you're chasing goals set by a different tool.
exactly.
Right.
Last year's HB3 goals were a different tool.
Yeah.
Right? We used, for example, iStation, right, to measure the HB3 goals. This year,
Yeah.
we changed it mid-year. We started with iStation,
Yeah.
we changed it to MAP.
Right, but I'm not looking at last year, I'm looking at last quarter. How we have been, because we were
Right.
using MAP last quarter.
Yes.
Right, so,
But what you're trying to say is that
yeah, I get that, that was last year.
the set target that we're chasing in the spring, in the fall, that was based off the
last
tool we were
year.
No,
using last
I
time.
get that, I just mean the way it said we're going on track, but then we didn't get there, because we
Right.
had been using MAP.
Yes.
I totally get that.
See.
What I'm saying is, we had been using MAP all these quarters, and then we
There's a
didn't
dip.
get there.
Right.
Which, there's a lot of reasons why, and it's totally understandable, and we're gonna see what we can fix.
Most definitely.
But that's what I was confused about, but thank you for explaining that.
Yes. So on the next slide, you will see, right, each campus performance. The campuses with the green cells are the ones who met the end of the year target, which when we reported back, I believe, March and April, these are some of the same campuses that were meeting already the end of the year target goal. Again, what we noted down and what's working and what's not working with campus administration feedback, again, we feel very strongly that fidelity to our Tier 1 curriculum resources to high-quality materials, which we've vetted for next year, and we're aligning all PD to that, will help us meet that end-of-the-year target goal, definitely. So again, I do want to emphasize this data compared to last year's data, we either met or surpassed it. We just didn't meet the end of the year target goal for the new HB3 goals.
And this data like this, these are results, we're not talking about approaches here, right?
No.
We're talking about meets.
Right.
And,
At the
and what I
achievement,
want to
right.
point out to people that are looking at these percentages is that most districts, they're not even close to that in approaches.
Right.
I mean, and we're talking about meets, so it's approaches where you kind of pass what you didn't, and then it's meets where you are on target.
Right.
You don't need any type of intervention, and then, of course, you have the master.
Most definitely,
So-
and that is one of the things that we look at in achievement, right?
Right, so so what I want to make public here is that, like, when we're talking about that, like Mr. Saita brought up, is that we're looking at a standard that's higher. You know, everyone's looking at approaches at the basic level, we're looking at meets here.
Meets.
So our school district's operating at a whole different level.
Correct,
So,
to align to that meets performance at third grade,
Yes.
to support.
thank you.
Right, so that
Just
is
wanted to put that-
our kinder through second RLA data, right, which is supporting goal 1. Then we move forward to goal 2, which is again supporting the third grade math goal, again at the meets level, right, to support the 60% that we want to get to by 2028 in third grade. So in the next slide, you have also our kinder first and second grade data. Again, the goals for kinder, set goals that we adopted back in November were 55, for first grade 44, and 38. Actual kinder turned out to be, this end of the year score was 52, so we were 3 points away from meeting our end of the year target goal. A 39 for first grade and a 36 for second grade. Again, first and second grade either maintain or surpass last year's group cohort, so I do want to make reference to that and congratulate the campuses because we've seen the gains, right? Did they meet our end of the year target with the new adopted goals? Maybe not. But again, this is at that post-secondary readiness achievement target. So I do want to make comment of that. And then on the next slide, you have scores individually by campus. Again, we listed what is working and what is not working. A lot of what we discussed back in March and April is still the same thing, as we've done a lot of work vetting our curriculum resources to high-quality materials in PD. So, and again, just proper monitoring a whole year's worth of data. So we will be making that recommendation. Now, based on this data, we will also be making recommendations for subpopulations, individual goals for them as well.
Okay.
And next is our CPMs, which Mr. David Oviedo covered during his public hearing, which is in the month of
You're on track.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All right, time for questioning. I don't know if anybody has any questions? No?
ma'am.
I'm good.
Okay, because I have to, because our coach says you have to have the questions ready. So of course I went through the data and I was researching through things that I thought as when I was teaching, and Ms. Garcia came up here, thank you so much, last month to just share her ideas of how Gonzalez Elementary is doing with their campus. And if I can reverse back over to the reading scores, first grade, specifically first grade, I noticed that they actually increased from March to May, which is awesome, right? First grade
Yes, ma'am.
went up in there. So my question is, what are we doing here that's working in this area that we can possibly do with the other grades?
We strongly believe campuses who have that fidelity to our phonics, right, curriculums, or phonics programs, have seen the results of that. So Mr. Amdahl and Ms. Julie Kelly, along with our RLA coordinator, Ms. Emily Martinez, are putting that in place across all campuses, right, starting in kindergarten with the blended learning classrooms. So we're going to put that in place at all 10 campuses.
That's awesome. And I was thinking of Ms. Garcia when I went on ProQuest, all these dissertations about early literacy and how we can get the kids to be better readers. And she mentioned Dr. Maggie and how it's a phonics and phonemic awareness program. And I was looking at the dissertation. I just copied and pasted things that I wanted to, even though I'm not supposed to share like my opinions, but this is an opinion. This is just information that I got from a dissertation. And it was about teachers' perception, knowledge, and attitudes regarding their early literacy skills. And the study uncovered two significant findings. Teachers' knowledge can be strengthened with training, and changes in teachers' knowledge and classroom practices can enhance student learning, which is just what they were talking about, right? How the teachers need to really be strong with their, not just phonics, but phonemic awareness. A lot of them, even when I was teaching, phonics, phonemic awareness, it's the same thing, but actually, no, it's not. Phonics is the letter sound, phonemic awareness is the blending, the manipulating the sounds. The teachers have to be really strong, and a lot of our teachers are very strong with this. But we're coming to find out through research that good readers are made in the early grades, from kinder to second grade. So it's super important. And then it said that the researchers recommended that school districts restructure teacher development and reinvent ways to support teachers' learning. So right here where I saw, well, it's not here on this slide, but I see what can help professional development. And I really want to make sure those professional developments are actually affecting teachers, where they're not just going to listen and sit there, that they're actually using what they're being told. Because during student teaching, when I was doing, no one taught us during student teaching, this is how you do phonics. It's just something that you learn as you go. So I want to make sure that these teachers have what they need. And you guys are working on that, you said.
Most definitely. And our coordinators know that before we schedule any PD, it's based on needs and it's with campus administrator feedback, right? Because we want to make sure that we're addressing their needs, not what we think would be helpful.
Awesome, thank you so much. I know the principals that in the early programs, they do a great job. I mean, there's so many things that you have to address with the little ones, but phonics and phonemic awareness is shown as research that creates the strong readers. Thank you. And then another question, let me see. I put 3. Oh, how might the changes that we make right now, as far as like budgets, resources, how might the changes that we make show up in the future? What can we do now to make changes for the future? Other than professional development, what else?
Right. I think the biggest change, Ms. Sustaita, or I think the biggest thing that will impact scores is going to be using high-quality materials, right? Okay. In our study of that, in our review of campus resources, it's that, right? We need to just ensure the fidelity to high-quality materials.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And we are good with approving everything you guys need for curriculum?
We are good, yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Thank you, Ms. Lano, and thank you to all the principals and the staff and everybody for working hard with the kids. Data is data, but I know it's super important, but what happens in the classroom is very different, so thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. Now we need to approve, right? Where is that? Where am I? 11. 12. 12A, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to consider approval of the June 2024 student outcome goals and the constraints. Do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we'll take it to a vote. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee Dos Santos?
Aye.
And me, because Mr. Guerrero's not here. Motion approved. 13, closed meeting to discuss. 13A, personnel matters, Texas Government Code 551.074. 13A1, Human Resources Department. 1A, discussion regarding superintendent's recommendation on certified personnel and non-contractual personnel. 13A1B, discussion regarding superintendent's recommendation on resignations, retirements of certified professional and non-contractual personnel. 13B, consultation with attorney regarding B1, pending or contemplated litigation. B2, settlement offer, or B3, a matter in which the duty of the attorney of the Weslaco Independent School District under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code 551.07. It is now 7:11 p.m., and we will meet in closed session. All right, it is now 7:24 PM and we have reconvened in open meeting. We'll go ahead and take, if we can do 14A, possible action if necessary on items discussed in closed meeting. Do I have a motion to approve A1 and A2?
Motion approved, A1, A2.
Second.
Second, we'll go ahead and take it to a vote. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos?
Aye.
Motion passes. Adjournment?
So moved.
It is 7:25 PM and we are adjourned. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, well done.